Yo, 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 what the fuck is up? I know that I told y'all that El Diablo Beats was going to be my first guest on this Friend Fridays. I changed my mind. I got my boy Sonny Darko, my bandmate, label mate, one of my best friends, solid individual. The El Diablo Beats Friend Fridays will drop on Friday. This is dropping tomorrow, or today, Thursday. Let's go. Introduce yourself, man, to the fans.
What up? My name is Sonny Darko, lyricist out of Sacramento, California. Been rapping since 17. Yeah, man.
All right. I have been rapping since I was 15. I did my first show at a fucking pumpkin patch on Halloween when I was 17, rapping over Dr. Octagon instrumentals, bro. I didn't have any recorded songs. Like, I just had hella verses I wrote, and like, I started backwards. I kind of like got into live shows, and then a decade later got into, studio recording. You feel me? So
Gotcha.
You already said your name, where you're from. How did you get into music, and what are your musical influences, man? Talk to the people.
Well, the music started junior high. Started out trying to play the trumpet, which I just did not. It just didn't stick at all.
I played clarinet, dude.
Yeah.
My dad told me that it would make me a good kisser, and it did. And like, hella bitches are on my dick. Keep going.
All right. Whoa. So from the trumpet, kicked that. Didn't want to fuck with it. So I moved to playing the drums. Ended up playing drums in jazz band for the remainder of junior high. Started messing around with me, my homie Aaron Anderson, Joey Stone, my best friends at the time, messing around, making a band, or what we thought was a band, shitty. But so from that, Aaron's brothers always had drum machines and were into electronic music, had drum machines, so we started messing around with those. And making basic drum loops, and started freestyling over those, or spitting old Brother Lynch, Eminem verses over the loops, until I eventually evolved into my own writing, my own material.
So when did you have your first like recorded song? How old were you?
17. On, I think it was like a Tascam or some type of 4-track cassette.
Fuck yeah.
Cassette 4-track for sure.
If y'all don't know what cassette tapes are, because I know a lot of my viewers are younger, Google that shit. It's way fucking cooler than CDs. Wait, are they the CD I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all are, I love you, much love, but y'all are a weird generation, man. So name some like bands or rap groups that were, very influential for you.
Big time, well, of course, like I said, Brother Lynch, Hieroglyphics, Living Legends, what else was big? Fucking groups, Korn, Deftones, all the way to fucking classic rock, psychedelic rock, Jim Morrison, The Doors, Hendrix, Zeppelin, Joplin, what else? I always get caught on this question. There's too many floating through my brain.
I know, it's a very broad question. There's so much fucking good music out there, man.
Jedi Mind Tricks.
Jedi Mind, man.
Fucking La Coca Nostra. Well, that was later on, but yeah, anyways.
Fuck yeah. One very important thing about my channel is I like to speak about my addiction, my recovery, my story, right? My experience, strength, and hope. I know we've, lived a very similar lifestyle. There's not a lot of artists I want to work with, because they're trash, bro, and they're frauds.
Exactly.
And I know you speak from like a genuine place, and like you spit your truth, bro, and I respect that. So speaking on that, what is your drug of no choice? Like, what's your favorite high? What do you like, bro?
Tough question. Ultimately, I would have to say opiates. but I've went down the rabbit hole of everything. Started out, obviously, weed, liquor, 16. By 17, I was introduced to ecstasy, shrooms, acid, cocaine, amphetamines. 17 was just a big year for me all around as far as drugs. It's when I started really making my own music, fucking women. But anyways, back to the drugs. I never cared for opiates at all. I was actually turned off by them until I got in a car crash. I was 22. Me and the girl I was with, bad relationship. Anyways, one night after a coke and whiskey binge, go to my mom's for my uncle's birthday party. We're leaving the birthday party, and we get in a fight, and she starts, hitting my head up against the window, and all of a sudden I was like, fuck it, I snapped. I grabbed the wheel, we hit a tree head on, 60 miles per hour, and that was that. I woke up in the hospital, my head like 3-4 times its size.
Did you smack your head?
Yeah, like, yeah, it was bad, like, scary to look at, like, for real.
Did you crack it open?
No, didn't crack it, but everything was just swelled, like, out to here. Megan, the girl I was with, ended up with a metal plate in her legs, 13 screws. They said because I was so drunk and messed up, I just went with the crash a lot more than she did. Yeah, for real. And so from that, got prescribed, Norco, same old story. Got hooked on those to where me and her were making up any and every excuse because she had the insurance where we could keep getting it until eventually, we were going through like 100 Norcos every couple days to where I was popping like 30, 35 Norcos a day.
35?
Yeah, 35.
The 10s, the yellows?
Yeah, Watson yellows for sure. So then we got cut off finally. Then got introduced to the oxys by my cousin and his wife at the time.
The OCs, not the OPs.
Yeah, OCs,
the OG OCs.
Yeah, for sure. So started doing those, and fucking when those weren't around, it was whatever, morphine, Dilaudid. Later came upon us, and then I was just mixing everything at that point, coke with morphine, meth with whatever, it didn't matter. So, but ultimately,
so you're a poly substance abuser,
for sure.
So, with that being said, describe your bottom, or like when you were finally sick of your own bullshit. Like what led up to that point? What happened? What's it like now?
Well, fucking after the places and people I'd been around, just dangerous situations, being betrayed by everybody I loved, being on the streets, homeless, nowhere to go. After so many years, it's like I just didn't want to live for the longest time. But I'd say my awakening happened when at the end I was just literally doing meth every day for months and months and months, and then I would try to come down with the heroin at night, whatever. If it worked, it worked. But
Xans,
benzos, anything to try to level out, like, because when I would do like the meth and shit, like I couldn't just do a little bit. I would do it, keep doing it, stay up. Longest I stayed up was 11 days, to where literally, I mean, I had every reason to think people were after me and shit.
Yeah. Or
like out to get me, because they were at the time. Everybody was fucking me over, and me doing the drug just fed into that paranoia, psychosis and shit. And I'd be at the camera or at the peephole for fucking days, literally. And anybody that might have been kicking it with me, be cool, we're kicking it. All of a sudden, I'm fucking tripping everybody out. And sometimes it would come for no fucking reason. But anyways, by the end, I was heroin and meth every day. And it came one night, I was just so fucked up, and I had no opiates, no heroin. I was sick. Like, even though I was fucking tweaked out of my head, spun I was high as shit, but I was still hurting, and I was like, fuck. And for months I'd been, shooting up in my room, and every cotton I would just throw behind my dresser for months and months. And I didn't have any that night. I was fucking so bad. I was like, fuck it. I pulled the dresser back, and I was like, had a mag light, searching, picking up all those cottons, all dust infested, nasty shit. Who knows what was in them? And I crazy. So bled them all, got as many as I could, bled them all, was shooting up. And I remember my dad, because I was staying with my dad at the time, him coming in there, like, it was like 6 a.m. He's heading out for work. He's like, sees me like shining a light, looking at it. He's like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I have no words, fucking eyes the size of saucers. So anyways, after that night, I just realized, I'm like, I need help. Like, I have to get help. This is just crazy. I'm literally losing my mind, one, and just who knows what sicknesses I'm giving myself from shit like that. Luckily, after having like blood tests and everything, I didn't have any Hep C. I didn't have anything, surprisingly.
It's a miracle.
It is. But I remember after that night, like 2 days later, luckily my dad was cool and supportive and was down for me to get help. I remember taking his truck to Kaiser. They had a program, CDRC, chemical dependency program. Checked myself into that, got on Suboxone. Well, after the methadone clinic that I tried 3 times, it didn't fucking work for me. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but
nah, methadone's a trap.
It is, for sure, cuffs. But yeah, so I got into this program, got on Suboxone for the first time, was doing really well.
You got in, what was it, like a detox program at inpatient treatment center?
Yeah, no, it was outpatient, but
IOP?
Yeah. I showed up. It was like 4 days a week. I'd go in there, after work. I was working at the time. I don't know how I kept the job, probably help from my dad, but so I was good. I was going to the meetings, doing everything I needed to do, and I smoked a joint. I hadn't even been doing anything. I went completely off everything for a minute, but then I was like, fuck it, I want to smoke a little weed, and I got kicked out of the program for smoking a joint one weekend when I'm in there for slamming everything under the sun and moon. But so was doing well for a while, and then relapsed again, and that kept happening for a couple years. But then I finally went to this other clinic in Oak Park. It goes by the name of Transitions now. Super cool.
Shouts to Mozzie.
Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Flynn. Fucking super cool doctor. Just it made me just look at things a lot different and felt, like, okay, they really are trying to help.
Was he in recovery too?
Huh?
Was he in recovery?
Flynn?
Yeah.
No, but everybody else in there had been recovering addicts. Dr. Flynn just had been working in the field for, still to this day. He's worked with AIDS patients, every type of addict, fucking travels across the world working with a lot of different people. He's like probably like 80 years old now, but one of the greatest souls I've met in my life, and very supportive of my music and shit the whole time. So that made a big difference for me, just feeling like, okay, these people actually really want to help, and I just stuck to it. It was September 2nd, 2011.
Let's go.
And since then, I've been good, I haven't taken anything besides,
Recovery is possible. Recovery is possible. Recovery is possible.
No matter
Reach out.
No matter who you are.
No matter how bad, how far down the line you've gone, it's possible, man.
100%.
Okay, so were you doing like 12-step meetings too?
In the beginning, I was, and it if it works for you, it works for you. It just wasn't for me. Like, I found balance on my own, and I just stuck with what was working for me. Going to work every day, get off work. I did isolate myself for maybe a little longer than I should have, to where I kind of became way too comfortable by myself.
Reclusive.
Yeah, majorly, to where I developed major social anxiety, which I still deal with to this day. I'm slowly breaking out of my shell, but yeah, definitely a lot better than I was.
That's amazing, bro. That's you know, there's just as many paths to recovery as there are people's opinions.
True.
You know. All right, I got another question for you, man. Tell me about driving 28-foot trucks.
Okay, so let's see. Right when I got sober, I had been working at a pyrotechnics company, Pyro Spectaculars, McClellan Air Force Base in North Highlands, Sacramento, for a few years, like, you know, while I was still dealing with my heroin addiction, meth, whatever. Luckily, my dad was my supervisor at the time, so I got away with a lot of shit. Yeah, so before I did finally clean up, you know, I would go to work, go in the bathroom, fucking do my shit, and, you know, I was a good worker, still did my shit, but say days we would have to go pick up, very dangerous, let's just say that. We go pick up some rental trucks, come back to the yard, loaded up with hundreds and hundreds of hundreds of pounds of explosives,
Fire.
Bunch of mortars, explosives, and I would have to follow my dad out to job sites, whether it was Cal Expo or the River Cats games or whatever it might have been, and you know, I'd be fucking driving behind him, all of a sudden cop a nod, hit the horn, fucking swerving off the road. I don't know how I made it through. I can't count how many days that was going on, but so many times I could have killed somebody, myself, blown everything up. But yeah, somebody looking out for me.
Talk about going out with a bang, bro.
Literal. But yeah, my dad would hit me on the radio. I'm following right behind him. I get a call. He'd wake me up. After hitting the horn is what would wake me up half the time. Fucking wake back up. Dad asks, "Where the hell you at? Where'd you go?" I don't know. You know, and then I finally come back to and be awake long enough to make it to the spot. But yeah, that was a challenge to keep my eyes awake and my head not in my lap. So
shit, man. What's been the most pivotal point of your music career?
I would say, so growing up, I was a big fan of Brother Lynch Hung. Anybody from Sacramento, I'm sure, can relate. So he'd always been, you know, someone that I looked up to. And one day, me and my buddy Tommy Sober, shout out Tommy, we were driving down Fair Oaks Boulevard and turned on Stanley, and he's like, "You know whose studio that is, right?" And I was like, "Nah, I have no idea." He's like, that's Lynch's studio. And I guess at the time, Funk Beta and Zigzag were out front, and they were smoking a cigarette. And he's like, "If I pull up on them, will you rap for them?" I was like, "You know me, dude. Let's fucking do it." So pull up, and Tommy was always pushing my shit back then, trying to get me heard and shit. So he's like, "You guys gotta hear this dude rap." And they were cool enough to hop in the back seat. Tommy turned a beat on at the time, and I spit, and right off the bat, they're like, "We want you to come by tomorrow." And so I came back the next day, met Lynch. At the time, Lynch was on ankle monitor and shit. So anyways, I just remember meeting him, and, you know, for me, it was like a big deal at the time. Every Sacramento rapper that I had been listening to growing up was coming through there, and I was just getting a lot of love, just amazing people, you know, and started building my name around there. And at that time, I was huge Tech 9 fan still to this day. Strange Music, I was trying to get signed with Tech 9 and Strange Music, and a couple people were trying to help me make that happen, or attempting to. And at the time, I was with Megan, bad relationship still, and she started accusing me having girls at the studio, doing dope at the studio, whatever. "Are you gonna do shit without me? Are you gonna do this, that?" and the truth is she was cheating on me the whole time at that time. So it was like more reflection.
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
Projection and deflection.
Exactly. But so I chose to be weak, moments of weakness, giving into her bullshit and my drug habit, you know, so I fucking kind of slowly faded from going to the studio. I even remember getting a call from Lynch, and he's like, you know, whatever you got going on, man, don't quit fucking doing your shit. You know, when you're depressed, when you're fucked up in these dark spaces, it's the best time to do your shit. I'll never forget that. Stuck with me, but I still, you know, stuck with Megan, tried to make it work, and that kind of sacrificed my dream at the time. Derailed it. So,
they ruin everything.
In my experience, that is the
Man.
truth.
And I only bring you on my show, our show, because I relate with everything, you know. From Decayed to Divine, your new record, how did that come into play?
Okay, so a few years, it's been a few years now. I met, I knew Absurd for a long time prior, but Absurd reached out. I forget how it happened, but there's a collective going on, and he wanted me to be a part of it. I came through one day, met El Diablo Beats, and you know, we clicked right off the bat, and we did end up doing a project called Dead Days and Dreamscapes, which is super dope, and just good chemistry there. Eventually that collective fell apart, but I did meet you, met Diablo. I'm glad we, you know, the real ones found their way to each other outside of that shit.
Yeah, the universe filters shit out for us.
For sure. But anyways, so little time passed, and you know, kind of Diablo started talking again, and it was due time to do another project, D&D project, me and Diablo. So just started working on, you know, a couple songs that turned into a whole project, and the project became probably the dopest body of work I put out to date.
I love it, bro. I love it.
I appreciate
You should be hella proud of that album, man. That record. What what are your 3 favorite songs on it?
Puzzle Pieces, the Healer's Song. The third one's always hard for me, but it's a tie between The First Cry, the intro song, and The Departure, the last song for me.
So it's like From Decay to Divine. So I've heard it in its entirety hella times. Fucking classic. It's hella dark in the beginning. How did you guys like come up with the idea? Like, why did you decide to like make it dark and then like make it positive at the end?
Because that is everything I stand for. Like the name, Sonny Darko. Just balance of life, of self. And I want every project that I put out to at least represent both. You know, of course I might lean towards the dark side a little bit more most of the time, just because that's what I felt more of my life. But, you know, these years nowadays, like, I'm finding more light. And I just want to make sure everything I do symbolizes both, whether it favors more light on one project than dark, or more dark on one. I just want to have both at all times, you know?
It's the human condition.
Exactly.
Yep. Name some or any upcoming releases. I know, obviously, you know, we got our record, CC Twins. That's SEE space SEETWINZ. Riggy Marz, Sonny Darko. Talk about that.
Talk about ours.
Not too much.
Okay. Well, shit's about to be a game changer for both of us. It's really, I feel like it's gonna be the best project I've been a part of. Just the fact that we both, like you said earlier, just similar experiences. We bring a lot to the table, man. And just speaking our truths, speaking shit that so many people can relate to. Very important right now to be speaking on the shit we're speaking on, like especially the whole fentanyl trip, like America's serial killer, as I like to call it. But yeah, I'm super amped for it. It's gonna be something next level.
Game changer.
That's all I can say.
Man, featuring Wildcard, featuring Word Up from Dope City Saints, featuring Chase Moore. Who's on the production, bro?
Yeah.
Chase.
Who's on? Okay.
Yeah.
Chase Moore, El Diablo Beats, Fumes the Threat,
Body Bag
Body
Band.
Bag.
Hey,
Can't forget
4
that.
Bs, 4 bitches at my house after dark. You know how we get down.
Yeah.
Any shout outs, bro?
Well, of course, to my Angelino tribe, Riggy, Diablo. Shout out to everybody that's played a part in, just my life, family, the ones that have stuck by me through everything. I have a really small circle nowadays. Yeah, very tight circle. But yeah, to every artist I've collabed with, to every producer I've collabed with,
Engineers?
Yeah, obviously Dirty B 707, my dude. Jordan River Recordings. Let's see, of course, El Diablo, which I said already. Let's see, Deadbeat Donnie, which I have a project coming out with, the Donnie Darko project. Dark Summers, which I have a project, Daylight's End, coming. Another project with Dirty B 707, Hightown Lows, coming. Yeah, man, and again, shout out to my family, to my mom, my brothers, for just never giving up on me through all the shit.
They show a lot of love, bro. They show a lot of love.
And my pops, R.I.P.
Rest in paradise, man. Where can people find you?
Everywhere. Just look up Sonny Darko, S-U, not O, N-N-Y, D-A-R-K-O, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever. You'll find me.
I will be putting all the links in the description below in the video. Is there anything else you want to say, man?
To all the bitches that fucked my head up along the way, I have to make sure to give a shout out to not even just the bitches, but just anybody that betrayed me along the way, anybody that, broke me down, and helped contribute to the strength I've obtained out of all that damage.
It's the best revenge, bro.
It is. Go ahead and hate.
Thank you so much for coming on my show, man. I don't have a name for you. Friend Fridays, in honor of our boy Ryan Leone. Rest in paradise, another fallen soldier. Make sure y'all peep my boy Sonny Darko. Our record CC Twins is dropping 2/16/23. Like he said, it's a game changer, man. The production's fucking crazy. The features. If y'all like my EP, the Alvarado Diaries, y'all like that grimy boom bap shit, this project's finna shit on that shit. Appreciate you for coming out, bro.
Of course.
And see you soon, bro.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. So that was Sonny Darko. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Super solid dude. This is dropping Thursday, the 21st, whatever. El Diablo Beat episode coming on this Friday. Every Friday, we'll be doing Friend Fridays. I'll be dropping more of this shit. Much love to all my supporters. Fuck you to you trolls that say I'm using drugs. You don't know where the fuck I just came from, bro. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep Ryan's name out your mouth. You get the shit slapped out of you. You dig? Yay!